is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video. And the NFL is picking up right where it left off from the previous week as we get some big news early here on Monday. Of course, as always, I have my Mott's applesauce right here by my side. But let's just get right into the news. The Indianapolis Colts over the last week and a half or so have been waiting to find their quarterback of the future ever since moving on from Carson Wentz. And today they found their guys. They're getting their fifth different quarterback going into the fifth straight year. That's kind of wild to think about, but either way, the Indianapolis Colts are acquiring quarterback Matt Ryan from the Atlanta Falcons for a third-round pick. From the beginning of the quarterback carousel, we've known that the Indianapolis Colts were going to be a part of the conversation. General manager Chris Ballard made it pretty apparent that they were ready to move on from Carson Wentz, and lo and behold, a couple weeks later, they go ahead and trade Carson Wentz to the Washington Commanders. Although the Colts knew that they were going to be moving on from Carson Wentz after last season ended, nobody really knew who their next guy was going to be. It really didn't appear to be a plan of attack for the Colts going into this offseason. We didn't know if they had addressed this position in the draft. We didn't know who they were targeting in free agency or who they might trade for. Like, we really didn't know who that guy was going to be. Back at that time especially, it did not seem like Matt Ryan was in this conversation for the Colts or for any team at all. It seemed like he was going to be staying in Atlanta because of that massive contract. And now today has come. Matt Ryan is an Indianapolis Colt, and he is going to be the Colts quarterback of the future, at least for now. I mean, they've been cycling through guys like crazy over the last few years. I personally love this move. Going into the offseason, I thought Mitch Trubisky could be a prime target for the Indianapolis Colts to target. Obviously, he went to Pittsburgh, other dominoes started to fall, and their options began to get limited. But then, of course, things started to ramp up, and Deshaun Watson went to Cleveland. Now Baker Mayfield's available. There were other options out there. Matt Ryan's cap hit was no longer becoming a factor, and now all of a sudden he's available. It's like these options really became apparent, and the Colts' patience really has paid off for them. I think Matt Ryan, out of all the quarterbacks available, was definitely their best choice to get. And they get Ryan for a third-round pick, in which they received from Washington in return for Carson Wentz. This has been played out beautifully by general manager Chris Ballard, and I know that big move hasn't happened, and I still think it could happen. They still have the cap space to do it. There are still some names out there, but this move has definitely been the best for the Colts throughout free agency up to this point. If you're new around here, I am a Bills fan, but I've become a Colts backer slowly over the last few years. I've really started to like what they've been doing. I've always thought they've been a quarterback away from being a true Super Bowl contender. Even when they had Phillip Rivers, I really was afraid of them as a Bills fan. Then, of course, the following year with Carson Wentz, I thought they were going to have a fantastic season as well. And now that the Colts have acquired Matt Ryan, I once again feel the same way about them now as I have over the last few years. I want nothing to do with them. I don't want my Bills to play them. I am terrified of the Colts. Darius Leonard in that defense led the league in turnovers last year, and then, of course, you had Jonathan Taylor in that offensive line that will steamroll you. I mean, if Matt Ryan can lead them in the proper direction, this team can be a Super Bowl contender just like all of the other teams in the AFC are right now. I mean, my God, as if the AFC needed one more team to be competing for a Super Bowl. They are going to be killing each other in that conference this coming season. It's going to be fun to watch because of all the talent, but dear Lord, is it going to be tough. Who knows what other tricks general manager Chris Ballard has up his sleeve. We know that they do have the cap space to make something happen. Whether or not they do is another story. Maybe they'll go out and get Julio Jones to match with his old buddy Matt Ryan. Wouldn't that be something? As far as this affects the Falcons, they are stuck taking on the largest dead cap hit in NFL history at $40.5 million, and it sounds like they're going to be pursuing quarterback Marcus Mariota, the backup for the Las Vegas Raiders. That will be interesting to see how that plays out, but the Colts are the clear winners in this scenario. Oh yeah, that's the big move on Monday for the NFL. I wonder if anything else is going to go down, but the Colts, you're going to have to watch out for the Colts once again. They might not have made the postseason last year, but dear God, if they did, they would have made some noise. Always, if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I'd appreciate that. And go over to Twitter, follow me over there. I'd appreciate that as well. I have a TikTok down in my description that I think you should check out, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.